Wrexler's on your mind. Not even like a needle in a haystack. Someone's been there but they never went back. Is it the gateway or maybe more? Wrexler's on your mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or I heard a rumor from maybe a dad. The Rex is really just in our heads. I don't care cause I love the chase. Rexler will be mine. I'm just a galaxy searching on. Don't trust the others cause they bug my phone. I keep the tinfoil close tonight. Rexler's on my mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. Yellow stars turn peacefully, solar flares arc over me, and everybody knows you scoop before you go home. Heat gauge rising gently, tanks refueled so quietly. Our jump comes into view. Let's head to somewhere new. Who knows what the next system holds, what sights we'll see. Oh, let's be bold and fill our screens as we look for mystery. A pulse wave booming in the dark returns to us the hope of somewhere safe for me and you, somewhere we can escape to when credits ain't alcohol, a planet to call home. Let's keep chasing every dream. A ring so rich, oh so pristine, no one has to know. Our bookmarks won't be shown. One day we'll own this whole damn place. First footfall turns into a settlement or two, named after me and you. Our fleet will be security, no one will mess with us. Everybody has a dream, and jump into the black becomes a scheme. When credits don't mean grind, you leave that far behind. Everybody has a dream, jump into the black becomes a scheme, and everybody knows. Scoop before you go. We love you. knows where we'll grow or how far. So go far you will, make your own little mark, reach out in the dark and you'll know, together our race it will start. Carry that steel, yes, expansion is real. Oh, can you feel, yeah, everyone pulls, this bubble won't burst. But we have such a thirst for the stars. Go place on the ground a new home to breathe in, to fill with the sounds of our people. Flying Type 9s hauling today. So like pulling a thread, we will slowly unwind. Don't make it a grind. There's a galaxy, oh, a galaxy out there to find. And if we all work together, then who knows how far we can get. And the goals grow together. There's nothing that we can't beat yet if we all pull together. Then anywhere is within reach if we all hold together. Just watch us and feel us and see us and fear us. We're a tidal wave, we're unstoppable, like a miracle. Oh yeah, we want it all, yeah, we need it all. Can you hear the call? If we all pull together, then anywhere is it within reach if we all hold together. Oh, can you see? Humankind is free. Where will we be in the end? Reach for the stars. Yes, it's so beautiful. We can all feel the pull. Yes, at last we can finally make this place ours.
that I never feel cold now. comes leaping to the edges of the night. Oh, I was alone, out in the dark. And I saw hollow squares all around. Oh, I was alone, out in the dark. Heaven was all around. Oh, let's try together. Let's try together. Let's try see the tribes blink. Oh, everyone's a soul on a new path, on a brave line. Feel the engines roll. Let's engage it all. Feel the new ride as we all intertwine. Let's jump together. 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 Let's jump together.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a car in the Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place,
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 588 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix of Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the orange sided bar for this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alec Lawsuit Turner.
Good evening.
We have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello.
And welcome back to our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
I strongly recommend you take the fifth, Alec.
I've paid my 5 farthings.
You've paid. Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh, you just gave
Never
everything,
admit
didn't you?
liability.
So if you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in game. We've got the Chris Mark 4 in open in the bar. Plus also we've got Ben flying about somewhere, I think. So
I'm
yes.
jumping to Colonia.
He's jumping to Colonia. So
Yeah.
yes, let the shenanigans begin. So if you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or just go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or look up Lave Radio on YouTube. We're there as well. So let's quickly go around the crew, see how they've been for the last week or so. Claire, would you like to kick us off?
Oh, hi. What have I been up to? Well, I went to the zoo virtually on Wednesday, and that was very fun using the little bubble buster bots that Special Effect have, sort of showing that off. It was really fun. It was genuinely really fun because we do this fundraising and we do all of this stuff with Special Effect, and we never really get to see it in action. Well, the predominant amount of, and I hope for all of us that we don't have to see that you have to use special effects services to continue to play our video games. But it's very cool to see an element of what they do. And these little bubble buster robots are small little guys that get they will get carried around the zoo by a keeper who does a talk as well and all the same stuff. And they literally go and show you the animals. It was very fun. It was very cool and very cool to see. What else have
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really nice. I will say that also I'm going to do an early plug for Chris Mark4's radio show as well, because he also got to go to Edinburgh Zoo and talk to Special Effect this weekend and do a little piece on the radio for them, which I will probably, if he's uploaded already, I will link in the show notes. If not, I will. I'll try and find it. But it was really fun. It was a really cool experience, and it was very interesting to see how that all worked. What else have I been up to? A bit of Elite, a bit more cargo stuff. And then I did something on Friday with Elite, which I haven't done for a really, really long time. I logged on with absolutely no idea what I was going to do. And like with no inclination of anything that I was going to do, I'm wondering what I should do. And it's been a while since I've like logged onto Elite without a goal or without something to do. We ended up mining. I ended up strip mining tritium, just because I hadn't mined. It was indicative how long it had been since I'd used the Type 11, because it still had all of the Halloween bobbleheads all in it. So I hadn't mined since October. So it was really nice to go and do the have a play with the Type 11 and do that. And then today I flew to Colonia. I wasn't even going to bother, and then we got a text about our internet supply, saying that our internet might be a little bit might be intermittent today because they were working on the line. So there is would be a possibility that your internet would go down. And I was like, I was planning on starting a new pirate game today, called Corsair Cove, which is coming out at the end of the week. But I was gonna start this new pirate management game, and I was like, if my internet goes out like halfway through, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'll tell you what, I will race my ISP to Colonia and see if I get there before my internet cut out. I got there before my internet cut out, so that's one job done, and I can sit there and wait until some kind of CG drops over the next few days, I should imagine. What else have we been up to? Not much. We got the car fixed and then went and looked at other cars, and then decided we preferred our car. We preferred our car from looking at the other ones, so we're putting a pin in a new car, or like a part exchange for a car, and gonna look at maybe a little bit later in the year. But I just really love that car. I feel so comfortable. It's like when you find a car, like, for all of its faults and for all of its stuff where like we've had like some electrical issues with it, but that, knock on wood, that pretty much should be good now. And I am knocking on wood to try and stave that away. But it's just such a lovely drive. And I kept like, we did a test drive of another car, and we sat in a few other cars, and I was just like, would I feel comfortable driving from South Wales to Scotland in this? Because it's something that we're going to want to do again in the not too distant future, because our Scotland holiday was so lovely, and nothing I could answer a true yes to in comparison to our current car. So that was pretty much our week. Just a little bit of Clock Tower as well, and yeah, just a bit of Elite, lots of pirating in Black Flag, and having a lovely time.
Excellent. I'm glad. Actually, I'm really impressed with the special effect little robot thing.
It's so good, man.
Oh wow.
I'm so impressed with it. Hopefully, Paige was saying that she was going to try and get the like the vid of the whole thing, or like the VOD of the whole thing uploaded onto their YouTube, but I haven't seen it yet. Whether there is a VOD or not, but if there is, I'll make sure to post it in places and share it everywhere, because it was so eye-opening. It was lovely.
Excellent. Right. We'll move on to Ben. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah. My life's been kind of personal and none of your damn business. But I have played a fair amount of Stardew Valley.
Enough said.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably been my week.
Alec.
Well, what did I do? I took Thursday, most of last Thursday off work to go and see the Odyssey. I went to see it at the Islington Epic, which is an excellent screen. Actually, I've never been there before. They have lovely recliner seats at View Cinemas, so I really like them. But the Epic is a big. It's not quite IMAX size, but it's a giant laser projection screen with fantastic sound. It was lovely. It was a kind of morning showing, so it was nice and quiet as well.
Good.
And I've become quite obsessed with the Odyssey since then. I went in not entirely sure if I was going to enjoy it or not, but it blew me away, and I've become completely obsessed with watching everything I can, every review, every making of, every interview. I've been watching history podcasts, and yeah, I've become completely obsessed with it, which I think I basically just need to get it out of my system and go and see it again or something. But I thought it was incredible.
May I recommend the Odyssey Stephen Fry book? If you can get that on the Audible, it goes through the whole Odyssey saga, but with
Okay.
Stephen Fry.
Yeah, that sounds good.
The narration.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'd
I
recommend
mentioned
that.
Okay, I mean, one thing I did, I think I mentioned it on last week's show, is that the Rest is History guys that I listened to did 2 podcast episodes where they went through the entire storyline from start to finish of Homer's version, anyway, or a translation thereof. And actually, that was really useful, I think, because it's not a sort of film where there's spoilers as such. It didn't matter that I knew the story, and it sort of helped me know who was who and what was happening, and without having to pay too much attention. So it's I really enjoyed going in knowing Homer's version, or a translation thereof. It all gets very complicated. And seeing and kind of seeing how Nolan had changed it. I really like the changes he make. I see a lot of people talking about them, but these days I sort of really like seeing what a director has changed, and trying to figure out why they've changed it, and it often makes a lot of sense in terms of translating it to cinema, or keeping it short, or so. Yeah, I really enjoyed it from that point of view as well. I thought what Chris Nolan did with it was very clever, actually, superb. Would highly recommend. Oh, and also that there was the most glorious thing on the internet today. I basically said, in my opinion, it won the internet. It was the Rest is History podcast that I listened to. One of the 2 historians is called Tom Holland, and obviously Telemachus in Odyssey is also played by the actor Tom Holland. And
yes.
And Tom got to meet Tom. So there's this wonderful YouTube of Tom Holland interviewing Tom Holland, and they do the Spider-Man meme at the beginning and point at each other.
That's wild. I love that they do the Spider-Man meme. I think that's so funny.
It's just amazing. The classic chairs that they have on set with the actor's name on the back.
Yeah.
So they had just one chair that said Tom Holland on it, and then they both walk on from opposite sides of the set and grab the chair and then look at each other, and then stand back and do the Spider-Man meme.
That's brilliant.
Loved it. I loved it. It's such a good payoff. So I did that. What else have I been up to? In Elite, or at least Elite adjacent, I've paid off Sir Tottenham Hottentot III over at Loose Screws, the grand sum of 5 farthings or 1 cent to put an end to their cease and desist of my cease and desist. It's all very silly, but quite amusing.
You've just given in to them now. They'll be back demanding more. They'll be back demanding 10 farthings next.
I found it very funny that PayPal will let you transfer 1 cent to somebody. It amused me greatty.
It'll cost them more than 1 cent.
I was going to say the charges.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it? What else have I done? I've been tinkering with on foot engineering stuff again. So I've got my plasma handgun up to G5 now, which is cool. Which means all my 3 weapons on my suit are G5 now. So I'm probably ready to go back into operations and have another go. I did some buckyball race testing. More on that later, I think. My Devil's Tower container run. People may remember that some kind soul completed my Devil's Tower construction yard for me while I was on DW3. So I demolished it and then rebuilt it, and I've now repositioned all the time trial waypoints so that they line up with the new orientation of the new container yard. And that seems to work, so I'll be releasing that again properly tomorrow. And finally, somebody posted a glorious picture on, where was it, Reddit, of this wonderful sort of mountain rising up out of an Odyssey landscape that had like a natural racetrack around it. I don't quite know how coloration works on elite terrain, Odyssey terrain surfaces, but you occasionally get this thing where you get real color bands around gradients in hillsides. So the mountain was sort of one color, but then there was this it was basically a racetrack, a white band all the way around the foot of the mountain. So I traveled 1.4 kilometers out to visit that this morning to make a racetrack on it. But now I'm going to have to turn around and race all the way back again. More on that later as well. So yeah, that's my week.
What have you been up to, Colin?
Well, let's see. Lots of elite, mostly catching up with power play, doing my bit for the Emperor. Not as much as I'd hoped to do with the Emperor, because I put on my cape and got my lovely pink, my pink panther. So yes, we've got that. And so lots of flying around and doing stuff. I think I'm a bit of a loose end with my main character, so that's why I flipped over to both my explorer, who's out close to Colonia, but I don't think I'll bother, to be honest, and my obviously power play commander. On Saturday though, I did go to Manchester Comic Con, not San Diego Comic Con, which apparently also happened. It was very interesting. It's the first time I've ever been to one of those. It's certainly the only time, turning up there solo is certainly an interesting experience. So I got to meet a few people. Got my photograph taken with Jennifer Hale. Got a Mass Effect CD signed by her, which is very nice of her. And also met Michelle Gomez, who's most people know her as Missy from Doctor Who, but I prefer to her as Sue White from Green Wing. And she had a nice chat from her, basically shooting the, just basically talking about Glasgow, really, and how the fact that my brother has married a Mexican girl, and now there's another pair of half Scottish, half Mexican people, and why are they all that mad? So that was my weekend. Plenty of. I will say one thing about Comic-Con though. It was really good for the morning, and then they let the afternoon people in because there was afternoon tickets as well, and it got so busy you couldn't move. And the really bad thing I thought, and I've got to say this, that I don't think they put any consideration for the disabled people who turned up. I was really shocked, because not only could hardly anybody move if you were even able-bodied, the facilities for the disabled people were shocking. There was one toilet in amongst the whole thing, and a massive queue, and I actually left there feeling angry.
Yeah,
I think really did.
I think when you start to look at it more, or when you recognize it more, you see more and more situations where just like a tiny little bit of consideration could have been put into someone who might not have been as able-bodied. As soon as you start recognizing it, you'll see patterns everywhere. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I thought there were too many people there anyway. And from what I got told, it's actually they'd shrunk the venue to a smaller bit. It was half the size as it was last year, and people were complaining about overcrowding then. So, I was. Although it was nice to meet all the people and see all the Q&As and things like that. Really annoyed because they announced the Q&As 2 days before, and
Mhm.
Jennifer Hale was doing a Q&A on the Sunday morning when I couldn't go. So I was a bit miffed about that. Otherwise, I'd have swapped the tickets over. But if unfortunately I missed Michelle Gomez's Q&A, which basically turns into one of her stand-up routines, because basically it just got so bad because I just had to leave at about 1 because it
I get it.
yeah. So positives, nice to meet people. Jennifer Hale's lovely, by the way, and but everybody, but yeah, just a little bit brought down by the experience of overcrowding.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was me. Sorry about the soapbox there, because I was getting genuinely angry on at the time. But what can you do?
It's wild having you on the soapbox about accessibility and not me. I'm just like sat here going, "You, Colin, keep saying what you're saying."
Well, no, it's not that. It's just the fact that I mean, obviously, I don't have the same issues that a lot of the people there that were suffering, and it's and sometimes that doesn't feel like I don't have the right to say it, but in this case, I really, I just got a bit annoyed.
I get it. You definitely do have the right to say it. You have the right to. We are human. We have the right to look at how other people are going through things and how other people are struggling, and it gives us our humanity. So absolutely, you should be doing that. And really proud of you for speaking about it.
Well, I've already sent off I suppose this is your typical British person. I have sent off a strongly worded letter.
100%. That's all you can do.
Saying about that, but yeah, I mean, I know the staff were trying the best they were, but you've got to put the responsibility in the organisers there. It's just yes. Anyway, right. Enough of that. Soapbox put away for the moment. Development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, not much. There was an emergency maintenance session on Monday, first thing, and yeah. A lot of people had to re-log in after it had been done. They haven't really said why they've had to do it, which doesn't, and because we've all had to log in again, it does imply that there was something security-wise that they had to sort out.
I don't know what
they didn't have to log in again.
Oh, I did.
I did, and it's worth saying, and I had this problem, and I know a lot of other people did. Some people couldn't even log in. Luckily, I'd seen somebody post a hack. It was a file I had to go and delete, but I couldn't even log in.
I know some people who have deleted that file and still can't log in.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm now wondering if this is a Linux thing, but I could log in. I got through the splash screen, and then you know how you sometimes go for a couple of seconds while it's waiting to connect to the servers.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was basically connecting to servers, and I'm crashed out, and I was getting that constantly until I went off and swapped over to using a Steam version. Which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't have any problem with Steam or Epic, but certainly the standalone version I had a problem with.
Yeah, it was the standalone version that I was having problems with.
Yeah. So apparently it's fixed, even though we are getting reports that not everybody's able to log in. Is that right?
Well, it was just one person in chat today who was like, I still can't. We sent them all the links and all of those kind of things for all the guidelines and that, and still couldn't get in.
Oh,
so a ticket is being raised now. They've followed all of the pieces of advice that we'd managed to collate in that time.
Had they forgotten to put an exclamation mark on the end of their password?
No. No, he definitely wouldn't. He absolutely definitely wouldn't.
Okay.
I feel like he'd take offence at me even suggesting it would be incorrect. So I'll leave it there.
Excellent.
Yeah, I saw that Michael McIntyre stand up as well.
Yeah, yeah, but it's funny. Like, it's been a while since I've used my Elite password because you don't normally need to. And I had a moment.
I had to look mine up on my little notepad.
Yeah.
Yes. So that. Like I said, ongoing issues for some people, but most people are back in. Right, and according to Steam charts, player numbers are continuing to rise. It's now saying that's a 17 point something or other rise over the last month instead of the 15% it was reporting last week. So yeah, that's at least something. So yeah, operations does seem to be attracting attention. I'm just hoping that they're going to stick with it.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I will pass over now out to Alec and the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dev game, innit, mate?
Okay, another pretty light community corner, but that's fine. So first item is a fun video actually by Crichton called SRV versus Nomad Exo-Bio Showdown, where basically Crichton was just sort of genuinely curious about the time difference between doing some exobiology in the SRV, which was their preferred way of doing it previously, and doing it in the Nomad. So they basically find two pretty much identical planets, each of which has two exobios on it. One a bacteria and one, I can't remember, something else, not too difficult. And then they use what's that timer? Live split. They use live split to time the process from glide to collecting the last sample and taking off again. It's quite. I think it's relevant. But they do neither half 100% sort of cleanly. So they make a few little mistakes with the SRV, and they fly past a few things in the Nomad. I think they're both representative of how an average person would go about doing a bit of exobio, and it was basically like 4 times faster in the Nomad. I think it was 12 minutes or something in the Nomad, and like nearly 40 minutes in the SRV to do it. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it was interesting. It was an interesting little experiment, and it's quite fun to see. I don't know about other people, but I find it quite fun seeing how people carry out, how people perform a game loop, like exobiology from start to finish, because people do different bits of it differently, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of doing that or whatever. So yeah, cool. I'm going to give a shout out to the Burpits video. I often do, the weekly Witch Space News is always excellent. Doesn't need me to shout it out. I'm sure everyone watches it, but occasionally they do little specials and they're really fun. So they did one recently called Kestrels in High Intensity CZ, and it's a sort of non-commentary video with music piece, just a bunch of kestrels. What it says on the tin, basically, a load of kestrels fighting in a high intensity CZ, and it's a very elegant ballet to watch indeed. It's a nice bit of beautiful footage as always. Right, onto a bit of racing news. So first of all, the new buckyball race. So I'm not going to go into huge detail, but basically I had this plan inspired by a forum post about a system that had I think something like 100 stations, landable stations, space stations or planet stations in it. And the idea of basically seeing how many of those you could land at in a time limit. And then it was quite a long way from the bubble, so I used a bit of Spanish search wizardry to find something closer and played around with that, and it was almost right. But then I spotted this other system that has been, I think I might have even shouted it out on the show, which has been colonized by somebody over at the Brazilian League of Pilots, where every station is named after somewhere in Brazil or
Yeah, you did mention that.
So I've latched onto that, and I've started building a race which is going to be called Rota Latina, which is the Latin route, basically. But then it got really interesting because I thought, well, I ought to reach out to the architect of the system and just, I don't need permission, but it's nice to just say I'm planning on doing this thing, which might bring a few people to your system. Is that cool with you? And they've got really quite excited because it turns out there's quite a big celebration coming up in September, first week of September, for Brazil. And So we're going to combine it with that. I was originally going to do this in August, but I'm going to push it back to the first week in September because it just slots in really nicely with what that whole system is a celebration of. The timing was just too good not to make use of that. So Buckyball race coming, but not till the first week of September. So more later. And then it does indeed, as Epiphas points out, it does indeed start ECM weekend. So don't expect many leaderboards from
Damn
me.
it.
Don't expect many leaderboards from me on the first weekend. I will deal with it when I get back. Yeah, then the last piece is Distant Races 3312. So when we were on Distant World 3, the group of people, quite a large group by the end, who got involved in the racing, sort of talked very excitedly about the idea of going back and doing it again, because it was a lot of fun. That kind of, jump ahead, build some races, race on them. So they're basically taking advantage of the Colonia thing that's happening to do a quick Distant Races 3312 out to Colonia. It's very last minute. So basically there's a fleet carrier. What's it called? Let me just get up the schedule. That's not right. That's a Discord invite. Sorry. It is this. Here we go. So there's a fleet carrier that will be leaving at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Heading off to, so there's basically 4 waypoints planned, the fourth of which is Colonia. And the idea is fleet carrier to the waypoint, build some time trials, fleet carrier to the next waypoint, build some time trials. So yeah, tomorrow 2 p.m. basically, or you can probably pay catch up, but basically there's going to be a bunch of ED co-pilot time trials that will be built from between the Bubble and Colonia over the next week, and a bunch of racing, so it should be a lot of fun. What I'll do is in the show notes I'll include a link to the Elite Racers Discord, which is where this is being organised. And then if you get there or are already in the Elite Racers Discord, there's a Distant Races 3312 channel with all the details. Yeah, and that is this week's community news.
Excellent. So if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airwaves, tweet or blue sky the crew at Lave Radio, email us at info@laveradio.com, or drop your suggestion into the community corner on our Discord. Otherwise, Alec will hunt you down and then pay you 5 farthings.
And then issue you a cease and desist, and then pay you 5 farthings when you get difficult. It's backfired rather badly.
Like that bad curry I had last night. Anyway, moving on. In-game events. What has happened this week? Well, we've got 2 little items. First of all, on Thursday, the 23rd of 7th, the Colonia Supply Initiative was deemed a partial success. Yes, we only managed to get to level 3 out of 5 after shipping so much stuff. I mean,
How does that equate to partial? How does that equate to partial?
Apparently it's not 5 out of 5, so it's a partial success.
So usually
you just need to pass level 1.
Yeah. And then that's a success and anything else is extra. But in this instance, we've been me and Alec were talking about this. There's only one other instance, because Alec could remember, because we took the piss of the fact that we had a big slap on the back of our hands to say we'd not on a subsequent thing saying we'd not done enough. We think it was Radicoida stuff though, and Conclave stuff, if memory serves.
No, and I remember it being, we got slapped on the wrist when we were getting the cargo racks for carrying Thargoid stuff. We only managed to get, I think, level 1, 1.5. So
Can
that's
you remember
why you've only got
a Galnet telling us off for it?
Yeah, because it said that there was only that way we're only able to make available the size 2 cargo rack for for commanders.
I don't remember that at all. I'll find it on Drinking Birthday.
I think I
God,
remember
that was the caustic cargo racks where we
Yeah.
where for once it's interesting because people often talk when there's a CG reward if we complete it. People often say, "What happens if I wonder what would happen if we didn't do it? Would Frontier have the balls to not release the thing?" And that was the one time where they went, "All right, you won't get the thing."
Screw you guys.
Yep. So we never.
Yeah, there was enough
of
us. Yeah, but there was enough of us who did want it. So yeah.
We never got the big caustic cargo racks.
No,
We've
but
got
we
them
did
now,
get it
don't we?
later. Yeah, we got the 16-ton one.
Yeah. And I think with
So-
hindsight, I don't know about you, but I think with hindsight, the conclusion was it's a bit silly, really, isn't it? And please don't not give us stuff just because we I don't know. The idea of locking stuff behind CG achievements and then not dishing it out is I don't know, it's harsh.
Yeah, I know, but there was a lot of if I remember rightly, that was about the time when the people were hacked off about the Commander's release and the fact that what else? All the ship transfers and all that kind. There was a lot of problems with people complaining about how the gun turret is not how they wanted it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So there was a lot of anti-Frontier feeling at that time. And then you suddenly realize, no, you're going to cut your nose off to spite your face if you don't, Thought, well, we're going to do this as part of a protest. Okay, that means we've got less. Yeah, never mind. I'm going to go off on another soapbox here. I'm getting a bit
let's rein it back
I'm
in.
getting a little bit grumpy today. I do apologise. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So the Colonia Supply Initiative was deemed a partial success. Not a failure, but a partial success. But today we got another bit of it's Monday. We got a bit of Garnet news. Pilots Federation directs members to Colonia. So get yourself to Colonia because they reckon that's where the next the next CG might be. It's such a long way.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Well, if
It's a good thing there's fleet carriers that take you there.
Indeed. Join distant races too.
Hang on, can I just ask this? Are there actually mega ships that do the route?
Yes.
Oh, right, Ben. Okay.
Yeah,
mega ships for years, Colin.
Fleet Carrier Owners Club.
No,
mega ships.
No,
no,
mega ships.
Not mega ships that you can jump onto. No.
Oh, because I thought there was a. Oh, sorry, Ben. What was that?
There's not Frontier ones, but there's organized community ones.
Yeah, I know. I'm not one about those because every time I've dropped off at one of those places, one of the way stations, there's a mega ship there that you can dock at, and I thought that they went round in a kind of chain, but obviously
they did.
not.
They used to. You're dead right. So
the
mega ships used to go round in a chain, and I seem to recall when we built the Colonia Bridge.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people assumed that megaships would jump from one to the other and provide an automated bus service to Colonia and back, which would have been really cool. And Frontier didn't do.
Do you guys remember Wendy?
Wendy, yes.
Wendy,
yes.
aka Steve Kirby.
Yes.
So I remember I was talking to Wendy at one of the Lave cons, and he was having a serious discussion about we're strongly thinking about getting essentially a bus from the bubble to Colonia and having that go back and forth.
Yep.
And that was a serious discussion that Frontier were having internally.
I think they should have done it. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have been cool. But then obviously the community took over, and the community are doing an awesome job with it.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. Well, that clears a little thing up for me because I know that I had one commander waiting on one of those things for absolutely ages, and it never went there for 2 weeks. So I thought, oh, right, okay, so it mustn't be working then. So yeah. So there we are. That's a little bit of confusion for me cleared up. Right. I think it's time for the power play. Staying down in 12th, having gained a single system at 667, is Senator Betrayus. In 11th, Torval has gained 4 systems, bringing her total up to 760. In 10th, Delane gains 6 systems, bringing his total up to 859. Winters gains 6 systems, bringing her total up to 1,126. And 8th, Archer gains a single system, bringing his total up to 1,289. In 7th, Antal gains 7 systems. His total now stands at 1,359, while Grom gains 9 systems, bringing his total up to 1,508. This means in 5th place, Kane is able to extend her lead by another 12 systems, up to 1,520. In 4th, Lee Young-Roo gains 11 systems, bringing his total up to 1,869. And in 3rd, we have Arissa, Emperor Arissa, who has gained 9 systems, bringing her total up to 1,911. In 2nd, Mahan has gained 5 systems, bringing his total up to 1,208, while still out in front with the most systems, 17 new systems for the blue-haired Bathwater Princess, bringing her total up to 2,625. Is there any point? And that is your Power Play rankings for this week.
Ah.
Hmm. If it wasn't for the fact that I didn't actually enjoy doing my little bit, then they're probably looking at this going, "What's the point?"
Yeah, I hear you.
What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm flying around 3 of Arissa's systems, trying to acquire 1 and reinforce the other 2, and yeah, it can get a bit dispiriting. So yeah. Right. I guess that leads us to that time of the week again.
Store alert!
Well, I've got to ask one question. Do you like green? Have you
Purist?
formed the purest form of green you can find? Have you ever thought, I should follow the yellow brick road just to get to Emerald City? Well, you can now get emerald ships. And I mean, these things are green. Seriously green. Honestly, they look out of place on a munchkin. So, yeah. They're all the modern ships as well, and also including the Lynx and the Nomad have got these wonderful green skins. And yeah, anybody
Is it just
fancy
me
a bit
for
of green?
Colin? Is it just me for Colin, or do some of these green not look more green than others?
I think. Are you talking about like the shininess? I think it's to do with where they're filmed and where the lighting is.
Yeah.
Where the pictures have been taken.
That's the light source, isn't it?
Like the
Mhm.
Nomad
It
Emerald is
probably
sort of
is.
top down with almost no shadows on it, so it looks quite
Yeah.
plain. Whereas
I don't know
like,
why. Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know why they don't do. I mean, they've obviously got the ability to have everything from this one set angle. I don't know why they don't
why aren't they
do
consistent?
that, at least with one of them.
Because some of them
Yeah.
look better in different angles.
It's quite triggering. Some are on a grey background, someone point to the
Yeah.
top right, someone point to the bottom left, some are on a pad. They're all at different angles. It's like,
They are!
ah!
It's madness!
Oh dear.
And now
Yes.
we've got one going looking top right, for God's sake. What is this?
I think the Lave Radio OCD's just kicked in.
I don't mind it. There's other things that grind my
Yeah.
gears over
Sure.
position of a ship. I get it. I get your stress. I get your problems. But I don't.
You don't
I
share.
mean,
them.
I ain't gonna buy any of these shit.
No.
I ain't
Not
likely.
even not
What
even a
about
Green
metallic
Panther
pink?
clipper for
You know
a Yellow
what?
Nomad.
You know what? If there was a yellow nomad, if there was like a plain yellow nomad,
Yeah.
oh, you know,
Yeah.
I'd be tempted. I would genuinely be tempted because that is super green and very very like it. But there's no water worlds. There's no water worlds.
Fair play to Big Al Cup of China, because this green is a partial success.
100%.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I actually like the links, and I do like the Nomad, but it is just green.
Yeah, it's very green, isn't it?
I think, depending on the light, it might look absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'll look absolutely amazing when you're flying it out, especially when you're close to Colonia. But yeah.
well, you know, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Nope.
Oh, I've just got that. I've just got that. Oh no.
It was a slow burn for you, Colin. It was a slow burn.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, this is how bad the internet has corrupted me. I'm now thinking of the blooming Kermit puppet that was doing horrible things on Omegle, which is
oh god.
Right.
And on that note,
let's move on quickly to the mostly clueless. Is it you, Alec, that have got these?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I was reading ad break, and then you said mostly clueless, and my brain did had to do a little catch up. Yes, mostly clueless. Yeah, I think it was Atlas that raised it originally, but I'll just mention it. So everyone's rushing out to Colonia. I think some people have plans to not only rush out to Colonia, but also get some ships transferred along the way, because I guess we don't quite know what the CG is going to be and what we're going to need. So actually, there's 2 points. The other was put in by Ben. If you don't mind, Ben, I think I'll combine them.
yes.
So the first point, which is quite interesting, is if you are going to transfer ships, then it'll actually be a lot cheaper and quicker if you can get them onto the fleet carrier, if you're taking a fleet carrier, before it departs to Colonia, because basically what happens is the amount you pay for ship transfer and the time that the transfer takes, I gather, is based on the point where you initiate it. So basically, if the fleet carrier is in the bubble and you say, I'd like a load of ships transferred to this fleet carrier, and the timer starts, and it'll obviously be like quite short, 20 minutes, and not a lot of money. If that fleet carrier then jumps all the way to Colonia, or quite a long way, for example, the cost doesn't go up. So yeah, transfer them a short distance rather than a long distance, and if you sort of initiate the transfer early, it'll be cheaper and quicker. And then the other thing to say is that when you get to Colonia, and if you've got a load of ships that have been transferred onto a carrier, this is a sort of DW3 tip, but it's highly advisable to lift off in each one that you've transferred there, and then request docking and then land again, because otherwise what will happen is when you explode a ship, typically when you explode, you typically get sent back to the last place that your ship docked. So if you get and transfer doesn't count. So if you get a ship transferred all the way from the bubble to Colonia, take off in it, fly into a planet and blow up, there's a reasonable chance you will find yourself all the way back in the bubble. Phoenix Blue questions, didn't Frontier fix that? there was a lot of questions about it being fixed and did it really happen? And we did some testing on Distant Worlds 3, and the testing wasn't conclusive, but some people definitely got sent back to where their ship had last docked prior to having it transferred to somewhere else. So
it's not worth it. Just do it anyway.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Can I
It's not-
propose
it's not worth
that Phoenix Blue does it for science?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, bottom line, not worth it.
Yeah, you can propose. Right. If that's the case, thanks for that. We will take an advert and then we'll come back with some answers to a question.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's finally here. The Panther Clipper Mark II. The biggest, baddest shaver in town is back and now has 25% more trimming storage capacity for the same amount of physical space. Because science. Size doesn't need to mean inconvenience with our new foldable hand grips to fit the charging pad. No need for any other clippers or cutters. The Panther Clipper Mark II is all the shaver you'll need. The Panther Clipper Mark II from Saracen. Are you happy now?
There's bargains, bargains, bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
This is a public service announcement from the Fuel Rats. Please stop what you're doing and pay attention. If we can rescue you, we will, but you can help us help you by following these easy steps. 1. Fly 50 light seconds or so from the system's main star and drop out of supercruise. 2. Note down the current system and the nearest stellar body. 3. If you're on emergency life support, log out immediately. 4. Go to fuelrats.org and click Get Help. 5. Stay calm, hold your breath, and let our seasoned professionals do what they do best. The Fuel Rats. We have fuel, you don't. Any questions?
Excellent. Welcome back. Well, I guess I'll hand over to Claire because of the question of the week.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bumper one this week. Anyone would think that people have got niggles about this game. It's been we've asked similar questions to this before, but I feel like it's always we're often having new people come and answer questions, or people who haven't answered this question before, giving them other chances with which to do it and those kind of things. So this week, the question of the week, which we asked on Sunday, we always ask them on Sunday, normally between 12 and 2, which is when the excellent Chris Mark IV is on his radio show on Black Diamond FM, which you can go and check out everywhere. But we were saying, if you could change one and only one thing about Elite Dangerous, some of you have got some reading comprehension to do. If you could change one and only one thing about Elite Dangerous, what would it be and why? I thought I'd start with us, just quickly go around the four of us, see if there is one thing in Elite, only one thing that you would change. What would you change and why? And then we'll go to the answers because there's a lot of them and a lot of them are very fun. Alec, let's start with you.
Okay, I had one all lined up and I've just skimmed ever so slightly ahead, and it's exactly what Commander Exorcist said, so I will leave it until then. Instead of which I will say, can I please not have launching the Nomad deploy my hard points?
Oh, yes. I love that. That's great.
Is this a little thing that needs to be put in?
Whatever
or
you
is it a
want.
big thing?
Whatever you want. Big thing, little thing. People have interpreted it differently.
What I actually wanted, which Commander Exorcist has said for me, is a huge thing, so I decided to go to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Big thing, little thing, cardboard box. Right. Okay.
Colin, what do you think?
Well, for me, it's obviously they've got to add VR, proper VR on foot. I mean that is one of my bugbears because ever since I played the flying about in VR right from the very beginning, it was it was one of those immersion breaking, well, not immersion breaking, immersion enhancing parts of the game, which I couldn't believe I was in. You know, it was one of those things that you always wanted to be in an X-Wing, or you always wanted to fly around in the Millennium Falcon. Well, in this case, it felt like you were actually there. And some of the landscape, well, that I did. There was a video not too long back that Alec pointed out, and about how to put the VR, the external camera, right in the right place to do VR walking around. Only works for exploration. You won't be able to use it in combat or anything like that. But just the ability to walk around in VR without all that mucking about to get the camera in the right place was once it was there, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just wish that was they'd kept it in.
Yeah.
I know the challenges. I know how difficult it is to put it in. I just feel like they missed an opportunity on that one. But yeah, that's me.
Ben, what do you think?
I could summarize mine very easily by saying I wish there were consistency in the interface and in the way that things behaved. And then I could get into the nitty-gritty and we'd be here all day. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just say consistency.
Yeah.
Right.
And keep it the same. Yeah.
You talked last week about the little differences between SLFs and SRVs and Nomads. And the slight.
That's an example of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a 10-year-old game, and Frontier's developers have changed, and they've changed. You've had one designer wanting to do things one way, another designer would want to do things another way, and when they meet, it feels very, very jarring to me.
Okay.
Cool.
Excellent.
What about you, Claire?
Cool. Okay, right. Mine is, I think I'm gonna go like macro rather than big things, because obviously no, you know what? Fuck it. Other people have said the thing that I want. I've said the thing that I want. I've read them all. The one thing that I haven't seen. Can I have colorblind mode? Accessibility with like flashing lights, all of like a shit ton more accessibility things. I would like Frontier to my one thing that I would like to change is for Frontier to consult with an accessibility specialist or some kind of consultant who can go, all of this shit needs to be more accessible. There you go. Do stuff. Please. Yeah. That would be mine. That would be mine. I remembered that as I flew into one of those very, very quick moving neutron stars earlier today, and I was like, what would be the harm in just turning those down, for like giving people that option to turn that flickering down, because that's all it is.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people complained about when the FSS scanner came in, and there's all the stuff in the background there, and that
Mhm.
was giving people headaches to begin with.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so,
I mean, the first time that I can like fully remember them listening quite so well as they did with regard to like the accessibility of something was that fucking flashing light from the Type 11 and the noise in one ear.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fact that they went, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I felt sick the first time I flew that ship, and then to be able to willingly go out on Thursday and still go and fly my Type 11 and enjoy it, that's great. That is one step in the right direction. But yeah, that's my thing. Put more accessibility into the game, please. But we also asked you guys, and boy did you answer in your droves this question. Places that we asked these will be on a Sunday between 12 and 2 on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and in our question of the week page in Discord. You have to go into the thread to answer it, because if you post anywhere else, I won't read it and I won't add it to the thing. But that's where I go and look on a Tuesday for the things. Alec, do you want to get us started, my lovely?
Sure, let's go. Commander Fosdyke says, if I could change just one thing, I'd give Elite Dangerous a real crew system. Not the current NPC fighter pilots, but a true crew that lives and grows with you. Engineers, co-pilots, scientists, medics, people with personalities, relationships, and their own stories. Elite already lets us fly our own ship. I'd love it to let us build a crew and write our own lasting story together, leaving a real mark on the galaxy.
I'd love that, like a combination of sort of, almost like the NPC interaction with Baldur's Gate, but with your own crew. I'd love that.
The new game being developed by the chap over at Guard Frequency might be right up your street, Commander Fosdyke, because I believe there's quite a lot of crew stuff going on there. Anyway.
What were you going to say,
Yeah,
Colin?
absolutely.
Oh, nothing. Along the lines, I remember people getting excited about what the commanders thing was going to be, where everyone, NPC commanders and things like that, and yeah, I think that was one of the things that added to the disappointment which happened with that one. Well, I have Commander Exorcist, as Alec has already mentioned. He said, easy. I'd like to roll back to the Horizons planet terrain, but keep the current lighting system, and. Yeah, well,
yeah,
that's something that you might want. I'm probably in the minority. I prefer the new one.
Not everyone would.
Yeah, so
my request was slightly more complex, I suppose, in that I have no evidence for this whatsoever, but I always had this sense that there was a little bit more work to be done, maybe on Odyssey planet terrain. And they just ran out of time because of Odyssey.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And so my truthful answer is I'd like to see it have one more roll of the dice.
One more pass. One more pass.
Yeah, and see it reach its possibly true potential of what they were going for. Because anyway.
Yeah. Right. Siegfried Origin is wanting more opportunities for player interaction. For example, let players choose to wait for rescue by another commander who can recover their escape pods. The incentive, presumably for you, you'd get to keep your exploration data if the rescue succeeds, instead of using the automatic respawn. I like the idea, but what's the incentive to the person picking you up?
Maybe they get a cut of your exploration data. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Or credits. They're just like random credits as well. Like freelance work for. Well, we have search and rescue. So there's like precedent for it there. Like you can rescue things. So
just not other commanders.
Not other commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netta Mizuno says more love for exploring, events, goals, etc. Shout out for Distant Worlds for keeping exploring fun and giving people goals to do, exploring they wouldn't normally do. As someone who's just gotten into exploring, might I recommend like the SRV survey bingo card? If you're all tasked out with exploring, I'm still getting like learning it and it's still fun. But I have opened the bingo card and now I'm like, oh no, I have a goal. What? Who am I? I hate it.
That's funny.
It's one of these things where you have to set a goal, otherwise you do just burn out. Well, you burn out. You just get bored of it, to be honest.
I'm kind of looking forward to a point where whatever happens in Colonia happens. Whatever happens in Colonia, and then I can go off and sort of like pootle around it, just like the other side of Colonia, because I know I've never been there before.
Oh my God, who the fuck are you and what have you done?
I don't know. Well, I tell you what it is. I think the knowledge that I can come and land back at a station and just go and do an operation is pretty much of an incentive to be like, you're not going to miss out on much. You can just like get yeeted halfway across the galaxy to go and do an operation. And if you get bored, you can then just like, it only takes an hour to fly back in your Caspian. So get back in your Caspian and then go and do some colonization. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds great. Sounds bloody fantastic. Exploration's really fun now with the Nomad. Have I mentioned?
Amazing. And on that bombshell, Trigon says, my first thought is to have you not exit VR when you go from ship to on foot. But that seems more like a feature. Calling back. So my real answer is to move the blue portals to just beyond the ship doors, similar to the Highliner. So you teleport into and out of your ship by the doors. I mean,
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I felt like they were there. I feel like they were on the cusp of. I feel like they were on the cusp of doing that because they changed the ramp of the.
Everyone
yeah.
Yeah.
They've been reworking the artwork for some of the landing ramps, haven't they?
Yeah, so it might be.
You know the big feature rework of we missed the trick is the feature stairs.
Can you imagine the feature? The feature is you can actually get to the door.
We reworked stairs.
Well, they're like, well, people are landing in the Nomad and taking 2 steps and stepping off the Nomad and are getting really more excited about their Armstrong moment. So let's do that on every ship.
Yeah.
You just get up, there's a black screen, and then you've got 3 steps to walk off the ship. There's your Armstrong moment. I mean, I'm taking the piss a little bit, but I kind of think that would feel better. I genuinely do feel like that would feel better for people.
I've been wanting that for so long.
We lush.
Yeah. I have Commander Simon, or Psy-Man, full-on base building. Conan XLs and Valham style. Let me build a space base using individual floors, wall and roof tiles. Let me set the themed building pieces for arcs, which is basically like No Man's Sky base building, isn't it?
Or something like the Planet Coaster model and stuff like that. Just building using a grid. Nope, must be possible just because it's in a Cobra engine. No. Back up, Claire.
Okay. I've got Winarchnos. Hireable NPCs to fly my fleet of ships that sit there in hangars a lot of the time. Yeah.
Not really, because that's more like an X4 thing. An X series thing. And I don't know, it just feels like you're getting away from you are the commander of your ship, but you've also got an entire corporation or company behind you. That doesn't feel elite. That feels more like X.
I feel like if you were playing a single player game and you could amass a fleet and then pay for NPCs that would then generate you money within the game, I feel like that's kind of fun. That's kind of like a fun idea for me. Black Flag does stuff like that. Like you destroy some ships and then you fight ships and you can add them to your fleet, and then you go and you plan things for them. A bit like the fleet carrier or whatever they call it in No Man's Sky. Like you have your frigates and then they go off and do stuff and make you money. I don't really class No Man's Sky. The way I play it, I don't really play No Man's Sky as a multiplayer game. It doesn't feel like a multiplayer game. It feels so much more solo than anything else. Much more so than Elite. I think maybe if Elite was quite a solo.
I think I'd argue you're almost doing that though, Colin, because like, who are the NPCs running around your fleet carrier, if not your minions? Who are the NPCs
They minions
running?
If they did anything though, Ben.
Yeah, well, they do something. They play Gallagher up in the cockpits. Who are the NPCs on your stations while you're busy playing Mayor? Why can't you have those minions flying your ships around? But this is what I mean about the consistency. Is like, are you one commander, or are you the fucking mayor of the system? You decide.
That's the thing. You're not really the mayor because you don't run it.
You don't run it,
build
but you tell everyone where they're going. They are your minions, and you're telling them what to do.
Actually, I disagree. Especially with colonization, you've built a system, and other people have moved into it.
But
you have
so they're your construction workers.
Yeah, but you've got no control over them. I mean, it's different with the fleet carrier where you can order the fleet carrier to go place A and place B, but you're not actually flying the fleet carrier to do it.
No,
but
what role would you say you are?
Sense, if you think about what an architect is, you are the architect. You design it, you lay it out.
You're also funding it though.
But you're not. Yeah, that's true.
You fund the first bit. You fund the claim on the system.
Yeah,
you put your name in it. But the only thing that you are paying for are the materials, but you run a profit on the materials. If you're savvy, you're running a profit on the materials. 90% of the time, you're running a profit on the materials. And the only time that you have to pay something is the points that you amass by building stuff. You could just lay that claim to the system, get your name as the architect, and then it's got one thing in there. But you're not. At no point do you pay anything else. You pay to get your name on the system, unless you're whacking a dodec in there like a boss. And you can't be asked to meet all the requirements.
I don't know who you mean.
Me, me specifically. I haven't done it yet. I'm still building that thing, and that's looking more and more fucking tempting every time I go back to it. The knowledge that 90% of not 90% of my fleet, 90% of the ships that I fly regularly are currently on this 61 and a bit hour journey to Colonia. I'm like, oh, maybe I do want to splash the cash and whack a thingy down in there. Anyway, Alicante V, who replied in Spanish, and I've used an online translator, not AI. Google Translate, not the AI version, to translate. So apologies if this isn't what you said, but I don't speak Spanish. But they said biological life with animals and more complex ecosystems, just to name a few things, plus full cities and ship interiors you can move around in and live your life. Might as well ask for it all. I will give you a pass, Alicante V, because you're replied in Spanish, so I'm assuming it's not your first language, but I did say one thing.
No, well, what's the one thing that the Elite's missing? Everything.
Sorry. Mitixel simply says chapter 3. Are we on chapter 2 then?
No. What does chapter 3 mean?
I don't know.
Anything that you want to, apart from chapter 4, maybe? I don't know. Well,
let's skip chapter 3 and go straight to chapter 4. Fuck it. We brawl.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Commander Jarstand, or Gyrostand. This Newtonian physics rubbish, or rather the claim that the game is based on it while the gameplay shows it clearly isn't. It would be a lot more believable if FDev just admitted we have some science fiction magic like anti-gravity and artificial gravity. Right. Well, first of all, the first thing I have to say, being a fan of Newtonian physics space games. I absolutely adore the iWar series, which is basically completely Newtonian. Newtonian physics doesn't work for space combat because people can just run away. And yeah, they made the right decision here by saying, okay, we'll give you Newtonian physics to fly about, but there's got to be limits on it, i.e. that's why you can't go faster than a certain point. And that's just for gameplay reasons. I think they got the balance completely right, but you can actually prove the Newtonian physics work by going into orbit with engines off around small asteroids, which is exactly what you would be able to do at the right meters per second. They've done the engine is there, a bit like how it used to be for Frontier 2, but yeah. However, I do feel a little bit the same about the on foot and everybody using mag boots when it obviously feels like, no, we've got artificial gravity.
I mean, operations has pushed the credibility out the window.
100%. I was just about to say. I was just about to say jumping about in operations, and I'm like, yeah, my mag boots are working real good.
And you know, what really does my noodle in is why did they even bother with the grenade stuff? And they talked about it like they were excited about it.
I
And
know.
it's like, it just does my head in.
I mean, this goes back all the way to when we saw the original design of the Sidewinder back in 2013. The Sidewinder down on the Sidewinder is clearly and obviously down if you are landed on planets. If there was any actual down on the Sidewinder, you should be, essentially like in The Expanse, the office sort of tower sort of building kind of thing, and your down would be the back wall, and it isn't.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And it never has been.
That's assuming that you could keep 1G going in order to create the gravity. Yeah. So, but
that's what you'd be doing 90% of the time if this were, in inverted commas, real.
Well, they've always said, haven't they, that they want it as real as possible, except when they need it to be fun gameplay.
Yeah, just as well, really, isn't it? Just as well that Elite has got this horrible terminal affliction. It's tragically fictitious.
Yeah. Ben?
Yeah. Right. So, Taller Ghost. That probably doesn't count in the context of this question. If I could change one thing, it would be to step in early development of the Odyssey and cut the on-foot development on-foot component. Wow. Instead, I would have focused development on even more new planet types, stellar phenomena, Guardian ruins, etc.
You say now.
I'm not going to disagree there.
I say that now because I remember when that first trailer came out. When that first trailer came out and we saw people walking on planet surfaces, everyone went ballistic.
Oh, yeah.
This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we've been waiting for. And then, obviously, the disappointment when Odyssey didn't work as well as it did.
Yeah. If Elite remained a space game and just lent into that, I could get behind that.
Nah, fuck it. I want to shoot something with my guns.
You got guns on your spaceship.
Did I stutter? Macwa Delin says, with Distant Worlds in mind, I would change the way that we instance. Instead of having to invite and leave a wing to make a group, I have a more lobby-like setup. People get a name and password kind of thing. You might see a few of those in these answers.
Okay. Atelier Luciewa says, route plotting for carriers, not just single jumps. Let me move my expensive carrier offline several jumps since they take so long in between. I just want to go fly out in the middle of nowhere and explore, then be able to speed run back to the bubble offline if I need to do that for a CG.
Yeah, offline control, or rather, out of game control of a carrier would be lovely.
Plot a route, right, and then go away and have it.
Yeah, that was mine. That was mine up until I jumped earlier today. I'd love that.
And presumably, because I don't have a fleet carrier, but presumably right up there with that is I'm assuming you still can't transfer tritium from the whole. You need a,
Don't spoil. I'm sure someone else has said that.
Good.
I'm sure someone else has said that.
Yes, in fact, Commander Frosty Jack says, the one thing that grinds my gears, everything else is forgivable in my opinion, is why my carrier needs a physical presence to move my tritium from my hold to my tritium depot. It makes zero sense.
100%. 100%. That is the fucking one. Holy shit. The fact that we have to be on it. What the hell? Sorry.
It's not as if you don't have minions on your ship to fly the fucking thing.
Yeah, no. So union rules, mate. Union rules. We're not. It's the insurance. We don't cover the movement of tritium. No, mate. That's union rules.
Now, mate, what we can do for you is we can only transfer tritium from the hold to your ship or from your ship to the fuel tank. There's this one piece of walkway in the middle. It's one piece of walkway in the middle that it's just not safe for us to put those big trolleys on, bud. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to sit there while we put it all on your ship and then put it into the tritium carrier. That's not me. You blame it on the designer who did it. I'm just a messenger in this point, mate.
Nah, I'll tell you what the real problem is. The real problem is different pipes.
Yeah, you want pipes. You need the right pipes, mate.
Pipe A goes straight into your ship, but you need pipe A to go from your ship into there. There's no pipe C to go from to there.
Yeah, you can't pipe it that way. The valves aren't right. The valves just don't work.
Somebody clip this, please. Oh, that is going to be a short, and it'll be a good short.
Right. All right, no, I can be there next Thursday, and it'll cost you 10,000 credits. Right.
Oh, all right. Papery. Open only prayer. There's so many benefits to having everyone in a single universe. So many gameplay options. Yes, some hurdles considering some systems with more PvP. But there's strength in numbers. And dedicated PvPers are the minority. To beat the bigger number of pilots, you need an extraordinary bigger skill gap. Playing attractions makes the Elite universe feel alive. It's such a great game, and it'd be even better with everyone in it.
Except the people that wouldn't want to play with you.
Yeah, except those people.
Those
people who don't want to do it.
The 80% of people who do not want to play with you. So that means of that, let's say, 8,000 people that are playing, there'd only be 2,000, and I don't know whether or not Frontier would keep the servers running for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, I agree.
That's just me.
No, I agree. I agree. Supreme Morpheus doesn't though. Supreme Morpheus says open only power play and BGS, specifically for any galaxy influence. Merits and personal rewards can be gained in solo/PG to your heart's content. But if you want to influence the galaxy at large, you should be that part of the galaxy, not your own pocket dimension. There's a show weeks ago which Supreme Morpheus and Padbury both commented on with these sort of information that we talked about at length about what the benefits and that kind of thing. And I will only reply, I cannot remember who said it in chat, but it was so beautiful that if you're wanting to engage with someone in BGS, why should they then engage on your terms? Because the BGS counters the BGS. So you're going is, I'm a better fighter than you, so I should be able to kill you to stop you from doing the thing rather than doing the counteraction.
I mean,
I
do feel that power play should be an exception to this.
I disagree.
Because I do feel that would have been... Power play 1 definitely would have been improved by it, but I think, yeah. I I do feel that it should have been a more of a balance, sort of in the way of if you are playing in open, you get better rewards, but you still get the same reward. You still get rewards in solo, solo and private, but in open, you got more risk, therefore more reward.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I say about it. Specifically, this thing about having no influence. No, I don't
Yeah.
like that at all.
And I do totally understand your point of view. I just disagree with it from the very core of my being. But that's it. I'm not going to fight you over it. I'm fucking done talking about open only. We know it's never going to happen. So it's fine.
It's never going to happen. I will say I do think that I'm glad Star Citizen is essentially open only, and it does make it feel more alive. You know, you're flying around systems, and instead of being the only person there are other people flying into the station.
That's because they've only got 5 systems, not 400 billion.
Mm-hmm.
They've only got 3 systems.
Right. Okay.
Well,
that's why they're busy.
That's definitely the argument that you needed to make.
Anyway,
but it does feel busier.
Besides, operations are open only, so there you go. Right.
Operations aren't even in this universe.
Well, that's another argument, but they are open only. Right. Nicey says some of the graphics and performance could use updating. And I don't mean the art style, because it's great, but having better anti-aliasing, DLSS, although probably not the frame generation one, and similar things would make it look so much nicer, especially in on-foot scenarios where it can get very framey. You can get Elite looking amazing, but it takes effort and a good computer to some extent. So it could be made easier, please? And yes, I'm very aware how much effort this would be.
It's ironic, really, because when Elite Dangerous originally came out, it could run on a blooming potato and it would look good.
Yeah.
But ever since Odyssey came out, the jump in spec in order to get the same level of beauty was quite a demanding one, and I think everybody's caught up now. But that's one of the reasons why Odyssey was such a jarrer. I think. Right, I have one of those people that Claire said had problems counting. Rocky Star.
I'm mad at Rocky. I'm mad at him about this.
Instant ship and module transfers. Lots of recent releases and updates have been about reducing friction and getting people actually playing the game, and this would go a long way to that endeavour. Yes, yeah, okay. Ship loadouts as an honorary second. Okay, that's 2.
Yep.
No, 3. I've changed my mind about the one thing. What, you get to change your mind about the one thing? I want this. Fully remote and automated engineering. I don't want a single pin from each engineer. I want to be able to add my engineering remotely, including experimentals. I want to be able to fly my 15 light year combat ship to 6 different engineers, and I want a slider to set the exact level of engineering I want. I want a single confirm button instead of having to click 15 times and wait for the number to go up animation every time.
Preach!
Rocky breaking the rules, bad times.
I am Rocky from Adrian.
Although I do really, really like all of the engineering stuff. I feel like Rocky started this week not having touched engineering for a little while and then started engineering. And went, why am I flying around and doing all my fucking experimentals? Why can I not pin those? I think I probably hit the button there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, right. Typhus Disenor, I think. I can't get a drink at a fucking bar or a coffee on the coffee machines. I stare longingly at the full fucking glasses and I can't pick them up. What kind
I'm
of
adding
a
the profanity, just FYI.
What kind of a broken fucking galaxy is this? It would be great if this could be patched, as it is obviously must have been an oversight. Maybe this is a feature that the Frontier devs will be updating at the end of the year. Actually, thinking on it, my prizes being drained, but my prizes? Prizes? I don't know, something.
Prismatics.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll go with that. My prismatic shields being drained by small arms from 4 blokes on the surface of the planet, when I know that they can withstand a volley of rails and frags, etc. All very good points.
Yes, the scale of firepower is a bit of a jarring one. Always has been.
Remember when we could punch an anaconda to death?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did they actually fix that one? I thought you still
I'm sure they fixed it. I imagine if you take enough time, you could probably still punch an anaconda to death. But I don't think it's as doable within the length of time that it was previously.
I feel like that's Ben's consistency bucket.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Solo Chin says, if I could change one thing about Elite, it would be the engine. Not because Cobra is bad, quite the opposite. It's one of the things that makes Elite feel like Elite. I don't want UE5 with its stuttering, shady compilation and every game looking the same. I want Cobra 2.0, the Cobra Mark IV of engine upgrades, but hopefully with the performance to match the expectations. When Elite was announced, Cobra was presented as a foundation that would carry the game for years to come. It certainly has, but after more than a decade, it's beginning to show its age. Imagine a modernized engine with vastly improved performance, updated rendering, proper global illumination, better multi-threading and native support for today's hardware. Give VR the love it deserves instead of feeling like the forgotten imperial slave in the cargo bay. Let HOTAS, button boxes and full sim rigs expose all their inputs without hitting controller limits that belong in a museum, because apparently my spaceship cockpit having more than 32 buttons is where Windows Direct Input draws the line. And while you're at it, expose proper APIs for telemetry. Imagine the community tools people would build if ship status, orientation, power distribution, and other data were officially available. Simrig builders and possibly a few hackers would have an absolute field day. I also can't help wondering how many features Frontier would suddenly be able to tackle if the engine wasn't fighting them every step of the way. More believable stationary interiors, richer planetary environments, better planet generation, improved lighting, denser settlements, maybe even the kind of atmospheric worlds we've all been dreaming about. Ironically, I've completely failed the change only one thing challenge. Haven't mentioned it yet, but I was about to, but just listed about 20. But that's exactly my point. I only want one thing changed. Everything else can be built on top of it. Fly Dangerous. What he's talking about is the engine that Jurassic and Planet Coaster and the new Planet Zoo were built on, because that's a much more up-to-date version of the Cobra engine.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a reason for that. And it's to do with the focus on CPM games as opposed to the thing that brings in 7% of Elite of Frontier's profits. How can I possibly say that? I don't know.
Maybe they could get ChatGPT to do it.
Oh, please, can they not?
Right. Big Al Cappuccino says, if I could get back in time, back to the early developing stages, 13, 14, to change one thing in ED, the one thing that would change pretty much everything we experience in the game, it'd be an alternative to the peer-to-peer connections we're relying on. Let us connect to actual game servers. That would pitch good pings against each other with friends' invites still getting priority without instancing problems. I understand that FDev apparently has made the decision to go P2P to save costs, but I still wonder how the game and its community would look should they have gone the other way. Maybe a monthly subscription would have to be in order. Fine by me. Instead, the studio could make cosmetics for free to make up for the sub costs. Was really struggling with one thing to change and not add, until Loose Screws last week hit the nail on the head. I would like ship loadouts. Maybe draft ship loadout builder where we can save and then know what you need to go buy an engineer. Save those drafts. Once you have everything to buy a ship loadout into action, you hit a button and it tells you how long to bring all those modules to your current location. If you keep everything on your Kara like me, then instant swap from build 1 to build 2. Yeah, loadouts is
Yeah, I do like the idea of loadouts, but I will say this: I know quite a lot about the economics of MMO games and the game service, and I reckon that if Elite had gone that way, we would not be playing it now. I think it would have gone bust about 5 years ago.
Yeah, interesting.
My apologies. I think I fucked something. That wasn't Big Al Cappuccino. That was Andy Pipkin. My apologies. Yes.
Oh.
My apologies, Andy. It was Andy Pipkin who said that, not Big Al Cappuccino. That is my fault for typing it incorrectly.
I would go back and read it in a different accent, but we haven't got time.
Oh, I have an unpronounceable Crichton Zeroth. Make CQC great again. I live in hope that matchmaking tweaks and balances implemented in the week of operations will one day trickle down to CQC, despite the opposite of being true at the moment. Yes, it's... Yeah, there's so many. The CQC, it was one of these things that was so close to the line, so close to being good, and someone move on before I start crying.
Right. Oh, shall I move on with Highball then?
Salute to Highball for helped us on Sunday.
Eyeballs wanting displayable collectibles. I want to retire to a little settlement somewhere remote and tend to a galactic garden using all the exo samples I've collected. Let me shake my fist at speeding SRVs, Alec, bouncing past and shout, "Get off my bacteria!" Or just place the stuff in my on my carrier where other players can see. Please.
I like the idea of having a little farm with all the exobi you've collected. That's funny.
Mm.
A little farm of little patches of eczema everywhere.
One of everything. That'd be really funny.
Are you good, Claire?
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to So it was half of that was Big Al Cappuccino and half of it was Andy Pipkin. Of that one thing that you read, Alec. My apologies.
Yeah, okay.
We need to address the people who said them in the right order. As an ongoing thing, as a reminder, please don't have loads of conversation in the thread. If you want to take conversation out, take conversation to we've got an Elite Dangerous chat that you can talk and reply to each other to your heart's content. Because when I'm trying to get as many answers collated as I really want to, because everybody who takes the time to say their piece deserves to have their piece read out. If there's a lot of conversation there, I'm going to lose it or I'm going to miss it. So there are other sections where you can do that. So again, my apologies to anybody who I got wrong and those kind of things.
And
that's exactly all your fault.
To tell you the truth, Claire, you have no reason to apologise because you did say one thing, and that is ignored constantly.
I mean, Commander Midnight Wraith.
Yeah.
Commander Midnight Wraith says income from star systems in colonization. It takes so much effort to colonize a system and time, and frankly, it makes zero economical sense that a carrier costs more to maintain than an extensively deployed star system's income, which is a pittance in comparison. Perhaps I didn't phrase that well. What I mean is that a minimally set up carrier costs around 15 to 18 million credits to maintain a week. A ginormous star system effectively deployed might give you an income of 1.3 million credits a week. That's just stupid. But it's also going on I know it is silly, but you've also got the upkeep of the stations to take into account. So that's just the excess. Right? That's how I rationalize it in my head. Why I get a pittance from it.
Yeah.
It's because this is just the extra after I've made my station. Yeah.
So you've already paid $5 billion to keep your dodo working.
Yeah, so it's like the spill off, like the run over. It like I think you know what, it might be fun if they'd never do it, but it might be fun if you're building your colonized system and the colonized system is like, oh, you don't know what the You actually not made a profit on your system this week.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
So actually, I was. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep building there. I think that'd be really fun. Like, imagine all of those single builds.
Yeah.
Like, having been made the big train. Suddenly, they get a message in their inbox going, actually, you owe Brewer quite a bit of money because of the fact that you've done this, and these colonized systems are actually turning a profit. So, yikes, my guy. I've changed my thing. I want that.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I like it. That's funny. Right. Chicken Cow God says, I would second Morpheus on open-only power play because that's what I care about the most. And what he also said, the ability to influence the galaxy in solo only serves to be frustrating for those who take the game more seriously in open. What I'd actually want to change is the power play balancing, specifically just one thing that would encompass a lot. Buff the other merit earning activities to be closer to the efficiency of mining. IMO, it's a shame that you can't bounty hunt or hollow screen hack or trade, etc. to anywhere near the same efficiency mining can do for you. I'm glad mining is in the good place it is because it does take BGS manipulation to be worth it, but the others should have just as much value. Oh, and Kane, her decal, please. It's been 641 days now.
I just came
Not that you're counting. Because she was brand new and she never got a decal when she went in.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah.
Come on, Frontier.
And it's been 641 days of sucking. You're going to get chapped lips if you're not careful.
That's
normally Ashley's job.
There are some ludicrous suggestions in this list, Frontier, but that one seems entirely doable.
Yeah.
How hard?
On this, on the subject of unreasonable suggestions, Nowski, number of explorable galaxies, increase it to 8, but I'll settle for 2.
You got to finish this one first. You got to finish. Once you finish this galaxy, you can have another one. All right.
Now come on. Let's be reasonable. Let's say you got to do 50%.
Yeah.
Got to do half.
No, you got to find Raxler. Once you find Raxler, then that opens up to the other galaxy.
Raxler automatically unlocks when you discover half of the galaxy.
Have we actually got 1% yet?
No.
0.07 at the moment.
If the Nomad had dropped with Odyssey, we might be at 1% by now. Because I'd have done a lot.
You'd have done it just by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in the old game, the original game, you had the intergalactic hyperdrive. I would actually be okay with that actually taking you to, there's 8 sectors, a bit like one sector is Colonia. You have 8 sectors that would take you to, and then it would burn out after you've used it.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only way I can see that happening because this galaxy is so big.
I mean, I'd probably implement something similar, but using essentially a jump gate.
No jump gates.
Like a Stargate or something like that.
No jump gates. That's.
You don't think the Guardians could have had jump gates or something?
You know what they should have, Colin? They should have Mass Effect relays.
They should have Mass Effect relays because let's just say that's exactly what it was. Wasn't there an interview from Mass Effect devs who just looked at Elite and Dangerous and said, "That's what we wanted our space travel to be."
If there is, I will find it. Ben.
Right, we've made it all the way through the alphabet, and we're now on to AA. Commander Boom, the space hamster. Lack of anti-alias in the game. Elite is gorgeous, even after 10 years. Starting humbly on an Xbox with nothing more than a controller and a tiny TV, was it a CRT? To now running 3 32-inch screens on a high-end PC. No other game gives me the sense of genuinely being out there in the black. However, nothing breaks the realism more than jaggy lines and shimmering edges on ships and stations. Sure, there are workarounds and third-party tools, but none of them solve the problem adequately. I'm more than happy to keep supporting the game through Arc purchases, and I'm loving the new content. But gosh, by golly, I I hope some graphical enhancement tools like anti-aliasing are on Frontier's to-do list. 07 commanders.
Yeah.
Got a point.
Is there really no anti-aliasing?
Well, there's like 5 different types, but people claim they don't work very well.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I don't want to dwell on this, but what I've always wondered is that Elite with like a in space stark black background, lots of thin lines, orbit lines, and lots of thin lines and textures on the things, and everything can be spun 360 degrees. I just think it must be kind of an anti-aliases nightmare when you compare it to something like Cyberpunk, where you're talking about you can't spin the world around, and it's not full of thin lines, and I don't know. I wonder if
I'm
just
looking
inherently hard to anti-alias.
Well, there is apparently there is anti-aliasing. You've got off FXAA, MLAAX2, MLAAX4, SMAA, and but I don't know what any of that actually means. And apparently, I'm using SMAA.
Mine is turned off.
Yeah,
because anyone that I've used is just doesn't look the same. I think mine is turned off. I'll have to check at some point, but
I mean, I didn't even realize. Oh god, I've got blur turned on. I need to turn that off.
Okay, so Little Begin says, I would say bin off the P2P instancing and go to server client options. I know we can get more people into an instance now, but it does take a toll due to the amount of peer-to-peer connections each player has to maintain in big groups.
Again, I would say I go back to my previous answer about this.
Comes with server costs and
Right.
Yeah. Long Mile says, I would like to see outfitting and engineering overhauled to create more complex interactions with more performance characteristics exposed for us to adjust, and more modules and effects to increase flexibility and variety in our builds. Remote passive tuning style changes from engineers Sorry, I'll read that again. Remote passive tuning style changes from engineers completely and focus them on build defining special effects. For example, any outfitter should be able to tune my shields for better thermal performance at the cost of kinetic, or strip weight out by sacrificing integrity, but only a proper engineer should be able to modify my shields to gain strength as my heat increases. It would be cool to see passive tuning done by having that can only be changed while at an outfitter. Give me manufacturer-specific bonuses and penalties to different modules. Surely Lacon and Falcon de Lacy have differing priorities when they build their own cargo racks or power plants, yes? I'd love the option to sacrifice optional internal space for a larger than standard power plant, or to crank the performance of my maneuvering thrusters by making them run so hot my boost makes me want to pop heat sinks in short, more build variety and more gliders.
Yeah.
Colin?
Right, Profane Pagan. Since I have a background of a set designer, I can tell you ED lacks environmental storytelling in the million different and carefully designed settings. I could go on and on by what I mean by randomized scenarios within settings, but for example, I would like if a crashed ship I am investigating had more than a few boxes and debris around, repeating the same pattern forever. What if these signal sources had random procedurally generated assets, like in one case footprints leading from the ship into the distance, or if you follow the footprints you might find the dead pilot, or the dead body of a pilot, or a pilot you can save, or bandits even threatening the pilot? What if, instead of a pilot, you find signs of a struggle, more footprints, and a clue to what happened? This is what I'd love, a little random procedurally generated environmental stories which might lead to side activities. But even without the additional content, they could give a bit more colour to the galaxy. For example, finding yourself in a trash bar on a pilot station's concourse, signs of a brawl which could be common inside a pirate station. Nice little ideas, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's a nice idea. I like it. Just little stories.
The thing is, like when you're saying procedurally generated, I can feel I'm getting the slop tingle.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking.
There is a problem with procedurally generated where it does become repetitive. No Man's Sky did have that problem right at the very beginning because the creatures were made up of the same arms and legs.
Yeah.
They didn't have the mass amount of different limbs to choose from that they do now. And it is the amount of work that you have to do to get something that feels genuine is phenomenal.
It really is. And, I mean, I love the idea, and it would be better than here's yet another crashed anaconda. That looks exactly the same as that other crashed anaconda.
They just all happen to crash exactly the same way, Ben. Come now.
Of course.
Anacondas are front heavy. That's why they're all like that.
Right. VR 24/7. I wonder what they're going to talk about. I am obligated by my very name to petition for full VR implementation. However, I can't justify using my one wish to beat that horse again. Seriously,
But you just
come on,
did.
Dev.
But you just did. Moving on.
Wait. No, let's find out. Let's find out if they say something else.
What else do they say? On one hand, ship transfer screen badly needs pinned ships and sorting options. Preach it.
Oh, yes, please.
On the other hand, we should also be able to send empty ships and modules rather than having to be there to call the fucking thing.
Yes.
Yes.
3 in 1. Sorry, not sorry.
I agreed. Let me chuck my ships out ahead of me rather than behind me. That'd be great. Cheers.
Yeah.
Forget the deploy hardpoints thing. I can live with that. Do this one.
Yeah. That's funny. Cloned Again says, the one thing I'd change is how hard it is to achieve anything for power in power play. Personal advancement is okay. It's easy enough to rank up, but currently it takes ages for single commanders and small squadrons to acquire or undermine anything. Deep into Power's territory, most systems seem unclaimed because acquisition is so hard. On the borders, there's no challenge because undermining is freaking hard and reinforcement is undone every week by the decay. What a terrible system. Nothing ever moves.
Yeah, well, we can see that in the power play results.
I don't know. Kane's gone up like 2 marks.
Oh, Kane has, but that's because she's got Chicken Cow God help working for her.
Yeah. Yeah, get fucked, all of the rest of you, doesn't that, CCG?
That's what happens when you don't have a decal. The Jinx effect says late entry from the disorganized commander slots. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I'd like to have all my commanders under one login, even if I need to spend some arcs for each new slot. Hopefully, DLCs, cosmetics, and pre-builds would be available across all slots under one account. However, that aspect might not exactly motivate Frontier to make this change. I continue to hope.
I like that idea. I really do. I like that idea. I haven't looked into any of my other accounts for a very long time, but I still like that idea.
Yeah, well, they certainly made enough money out of the alternative accounts I've got. So
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for answering that. That was really fun. Come back next week when I rehash another question that I asked about a year ago.
Oh dear. Any other business, Ben? You've got something.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Commander SBF_8556, who's given me a ride to Colonia on the fleet carrier, the Korea.
Your fleet barrier, is that Fleet Barrier Island?
Fleet carrier. I don't know where we are at the moment, but it's very black.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. It's a red dwarf system.
Right, let's do our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hot and Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday when they're not too hot from 8:30, and you can tune in at twitch.tv/Hot and Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that does like a bit of CQC, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We'll also give shout-outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts, which include The Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. There's also those money-grabbing, litigious types known as the Loose Screws. Yes, Alec, have you set up a payment plan for them? Because but apparently we've given in.
You know what?
Didn't even realise that.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah, and of course, if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
there's the wonderful Elite Dangerous podcast. They also do these wonderful player-run missions as well. So, following on from this, we have the latest Galnet news as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And thanks to everybody who's chipped in the Twitch chat. And the in-game commanders we've had are, he says, quickly scanning, we have Rocky Star, Siberius, Hermanus 1AL or AI, not sure, Sarlochin and JT. So thanks for keeping the Chris Mark IV company tonight. And special thanks, of course, go to Commander Togo, so JN Tracks and Alan Stroud, who create music that we use in this show. So that's it for yet another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. And we love getting your feedback on Spotify. Drop us a review, write a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe, just anything to help beat the algorithm. Much appreciated. Do let us know if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer or discuss in future episodes. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So thanks to the Claire.
The Claire, thanks. Cheers, lads. Bye.
For some reason, I was about to say...
there were no quizzes. There's no quizzes have been harmed in the making of this episode.
I know. We haven't got a Chris. I've got Claire. Right, okay. It's getting to it. With thanks to Ben.
Yeah, all I want is a drink.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
And special thanks for today's tech specialist, the non-Chris Epathis.
You're welcome.
He's Epicris. We know this.
No, we're having a Chris-free night. we're Chrisless. So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you get out and do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. You need a safe word.
Space can be loaded.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Nice. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 28th of July, 3312.
The Pilots Federation has invited its members to visit Colonia to assist in the next part of the 10th anniversary celebrations. In a tersely worded statement, the organisation, which represents commanders all over the galaxy, has asked all pilots willing to distribute rare goods and commodities to make their way to Colonia over the next few days. The megaships loaded up last week in Facis are expected to arrive in Colonia on Thursday, and the distribution of their cargo, which is being organised by the Colonia Council, will be important to the success of events planned to mark the anniversary of the founding of Colonia in 3302. There has been talk of a mega market, and there has been speculation about opening up Trailblazers' colonisation in the Colonia region. However, the nature of any benefits that might result from the celebration events and what level of achievement is required to make them happen remains unclear. Getting to Colonia is most easily achieved using a Caspian Explorer, which can use neutron star boosts to cover the distance far faster than can a fleet carrier. If you're using Spanch, you can cover the entire distance in less than 2 hours. Having said that, if you can hitchhike your Panther Clipper on someone else's fleet carrier that's already heading for Colonia, that's an even easier way. The Fleet Carrier Owners Club is a good place to ask about scheduled departures. Remember that it can take several days to transfer a cargo ship from the bubble to Colonia, and Colonia shipyards stock a poor selection of ships. If you've paid your ARCs and have a Just Add Water instant deployment Panther Clipper, you won't need to worry about these logistics. Just look for the handbag symbol in the shipyard.
In other news, a body of evidence is building that during July, the Brewer Corporation has been placing Trailblazer starports far further from the parent body than previously. This makes it hard to place a starport construction site in a scenic location, unless you like viewing your breathtaking vistas through a powerful telescope. System architects have started a petition to get Brewer to revert to the previous placement strategy, with starports and outposts only a few megameters from the planet or moon. And following disruption to power play during the first 2 weeks of July, several of the powers are believed to be considering petitioning the Pilots Federation to take steps to avoid similar disruption in future. Quite how this can be achieved, given the fundamental interconnectedness of everything, remains unanswered.